So when we look at in the sky with the naked eye, we can see sun, the moon, we can see stars, and we can see that some of those are moving weirdly, and we call them planets.
Okay. Namla daga kama gonda nima che dawa che kama che anchi kenzo juwa che gujo dange roshno da dilanga ju kharla yure sala yuros.
So we want astronomical theory to explain and predict astronomical events.
Tanda karje ripa da dewe chungwa dinde yorwa dida an deshe gaya da ani ngomba che yorwas di che tungi chku yorwas.
And as you said by yourself, astronomical events, in our case, observe movements of the moon, sun, stars, and the planets.
Tanda karje ripa I tanda dewe tanda yogu din yorwa di kharicha de yorla waina daga che nima che ani karma che ani dinyang she ani sta din yorwas.
Once we have a theory that gives us account of all observation, next question is, what are the evidence for that theory?
Ta tanda chik ngazo tokship che ra tokship chine dila tanda ngazo namsha ji shagi yorwas tishi gengila an namsha sha sawe je la ngazo khari gugu la ona namsha dila pangda khari gugu res dili yorwas thiwadi an thana shi di ani pangda di ta takta re dure mindu la jora dinde ani kheba su yorwas.
But not only that, you have to have evidence for a theory. Evidence has to be strong.
Ta pangda la di khari yor la ona tengu yorwas chingni.
Or strong enough, right? So what do we see with the naked eye? So let's just now work out from the whole history of science, astronomical theories, see how they develop to explain our first data which you see with the naked eye.
Ta tanda di gyuning anzu mi kyangbe ta we tokship chi jora dini ni ma lugil theo ina dini gozuk ni chin thanda bodo ani namsha yuwa dugi jora di tagres.
Okay, so first thing you notice every day is the sun. What does the sun do?
Tangshu ngazu khari thongur lawa ina nimadi thongur was nimadi nimai khari chik dos. It rises and gives heat to the objects.
Rises in the morning, right?
Shugela nima shalgi yorwas.
Sets in the evening.
Ani kondas chadu ma nuk du yorwas kontro.
And you also notice what is connected with the sun is that seasons change.
Ta nima di sharwa che nuba thongi yorwas thana shi ngazu namdu di gyor du yoya thongi yorwas.
And this is a picture of the trajectory of sun one day. These are all positions that sun was that day in the sky.
Nima chik na chuzu nisapshi na nima di khaw yume jura nesa di tuen sha juj res parina.
So now what you can do is take a long pole and put it in the ground and watch what's going to happen. Put it in the ground vertically in such a way that how the sun progresses in the sky from the morning to the evening casts a shadow of that stick.
Ta khar chigu lawana jubaring bushlen ra andi sagala chu shagu res tanda shungla indi chin nana shagu res di shasa jela ani shoge ni gonda bodo nima yamada yogu choru tanda zamlin kora gyodu yogu chikyoru thongura di thonga ka so ani sing tanda sing shagyo de timna khande gyo du di ta ros chi.
What you notice is during the day the direction as well as the length of that shadow changes.
Ta nima chik na la chik khari thongur lawe na ngara choi tokship chidugala tanda jugbe digi timna chpo era timna digi ringdung gyua du ros thaga na shi ani chog yora timna di kol khegi me di jiu gi ros.
So in the morning and in the evening you have a long shadow, and the shortest shadow is in midday at noon.
Ta ngaro da gondro do cha shaw na timna phogyo jora di khari re jugbe timna di ringbu yoros an thaga na shi ningu chuzu chungi yo ta da di ro ta wa na timna di thongsho chagi yoros.
But direction of the shortest shadow, that shadow in the midday, is always in the same direction.
hine nime khung sa chuchungi la timna phoe jora hine chota waina khatuina khajo chigrang digyoruas.
So you see, here you have a vertical stick, you have a sun that travels from east to the west, and during these travels, right, casts a shadow. This is the shadow at noon on that day, right? This is the path of the sun. You know, in the morning, sorry.
Tadi nima imba chara siu gogodi. Am phajo di shar nublan tishadwa. Nima shar ni nub jodan di langa rodi di ru chha de res thik sten da thala. Kugda di che ani kila nakpur ringbush lang shadwa. Kila nakpur lang jo di khar lana gyupa di res. Ani me kung chu chungi ta lana khaptu ki yora. Thega khe di indu ani digi timna dendesh phogu yorwas. Wala levlesh do. Thik nakpur thugash do di ani timna di res.
So for example, when the sun is here, in this position, shadow of this stick is going to go like this, right? In this direction.
Thanda nima di ngola chikchuk so shar chol ten so dele yo ainas ani digi timna di kho phogur la waina dele phogur was.
When the sun is on the other side, here,
nima di dele yo ainas
shadow is going to be in this direction.
Digi timna di thanda log ten shado dele phogur was.
And it's going to be much longer than the shadow in the midday.
Ani thanda ningung la thanda timna phogyo jora dile ringa yugi ras konda do ta waina.
Just from this, you're going to see now what we can define what as a reference point. So, direction in which the shortest shadow points, it's going to be north.
Dil tani nganzo dreshe chitu yoras shi jinsa do de. Dil tani thana nganzo dich do. Chuna posa khaptu dil khali re chang lagi yorwas.
Noon, it's going to be that instant during the day in which your shortest shadow occurs.
Tujo khadu ta wolani nime khung jora timna thungsho yoe gapso. Dil noon chuchungi di chagi yoras ningu.
What are we doing now? We are creating the elements of our theory.
Ta thanda nganzo khari sugu law na namsha dubya la cha khari gugu me di lingu yorwas.
So right now we are getting north and we are getting already what definition of what the noon is.
Ta thanda nganzo dishe khali ragi cheido khari ra yor law na thanda khajo changcho lan dinde ji lagi reslan la yorwas an thagana shi khari kor dishe ge yore ningu chus chungi la du dinde ji yoreslan di dishe dini ra yorwas.
When you have a noon, you can get a solar day as a time that passes from one noon to another.
Nime nindu la de dila thanda solar day lan lagi ore di khadu lagi la waina dawani pargi ani tuin jora dile shi yorwas. Tagarni konda thanda di.
This shadow, as I show you on the pictures, always goes from west to east, because shadow always points away from the sun and sun goes from east to west.
Ani timna jodan jora yogu chigora di khande chagurlo na nima sharni nubla dugora timna di khande phoge dojo phogeya thane timna di khande ligre nubni sharla doya dindij phoge ras jodan di.
It's sunrise with the sun in the east, it points to the west.
Ani nima shawe gapsu khoyere ani sharcho le yorwas an timna di khole re nubchola phoge.
At noon we said the shadow points is the shortest and points always towards north.
An nime kungjuya thanda timna thungsho ye tuzo jora di gapsu timna di khajo khwal te launa locho te yorwas gonda changchol che ani nima di locho le yorwas.
And in the sunset, right, when sun is in the west, it points to the east.
An thana shi nima nube tuzo jora nima khwal re nubcho le yora an timna di sharcho le yores.
Good. This is the principle. Have you seen a sundial ever? Do you have sundials here?
Thanda nimegi thanda timna phone di dilta ni tuzo she jora dikor yores ye we do have any like others.
So these are our first watches clocks, right? And they're exactly based on the movement of the shadow.
Di tuzo tingu yoras tuzo khandel tan lagi yorlauna timna phodan jora di unit tuzo di she yorwas.
One thing you can notice also, that the sun is not equally high throughout the year in the sky.
thana shi thuzu tadu gala nime thanda namla khaw yeme khosa jora di ta oina tho shu tholo khaga sume takta digyo maras kyo du ras dila thoje dila.
So in the summer, you can notice the sun is the highest. It has the path which is the highest.
Ta thanda nime gi thoje ke shedu gala namtu ke shona yarga thuzu jura digap su kharche launa thosho yoj thungyo ras.
And it's longer because of that.
An thosho yor ladu gala thanda korti suda kuda diringa yorwas.
On the other hand, in the winter, the path is shorter.
Thana shi ani gunga thuzu hindu gala digi dolam jora patlana di thunga yorwas.
By the way, do you know why? Where is the sun in the summer?
Kiran zuchi dan ha gu yus yaga ladu gala yaga la nima di khole yores. Kila.
Is it close to us or far away from
di keje
us?
tigyolas ngaru sai kola la nye re tharinga ro khande. It's farther.
Farther. Excellent. You know better than students at Harvard.
Kiran da yaga dulas ngazu lobtule.
On 2 days, what you can notice, that shadow moves just in perfectly straight line. And those 2 days, the length of days and nights are always equal.
Ani thanda nima ni la khari chungu yurla oina thanda timna shdo apoy di chibaji kyam phogu yurwas. Nime kuna gonda chigyora thuzu chungi chungi takta yurwas. Di la du gala nime kunda thanda gonda lan thuzu chigba chadu yurwas niga chanyum buchi.
So what that means, if we go back to our picture, where is it? Where is our pole picture? Come on. So what that means is that on those 2 days, shadow is going to be like this. So the tip of the shadow exactly draws this line. Right from this side, shadow is going to be here, 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 and it's going to be exactly the straight line.
Dilo dido chashona thanda chibaji kyan dir la jora chuchungi de. Dido chashona phajo di timna di khol pogre phala pogra di jota oina chujo ta du dela pogruas dini phosa ni jora dela thik the oina thanda kila timna pogyosh do thikhatu chagi res.
Right, this is where the tip of the shadow is, and shadow is from here, right? Those 2 days, day and night, are equally long.
Thanda nima ni chke do di ni de thikhap du yosade di nima ni khege res di gap su khari chige la oina ningunda sengi thuju jora thuju thuin di chikwa chadu res.
And they are beginning of the spring, and they're called Vernal Equinox.
An chige kap su thanda dila ani chinyam thulani di shagyo res Vernal Equinox lagyo res dila.
It's around March 21st, a little bit different. Or fall, this is autumnal equinox around September 23rd, which is the beginning of the fall.
Tonyam thulania thanda autumnal equinox lania di thuju khigyo res di thuju ta oina ani chinde gwe che nyusa sum stoji chagyo res dila de tonga gozuk chagyo res.
Then you have something what we call the Winter Solstice around December 21st, when this noon shadow is longer than any other day.
Ta thanda di winter solstice lan di khigyo res kunge nido lan chadwa di ra di kharchi la na ningung kap su thanda timna phoya jora di ni ringsho chagyo res.
That is when our night is the longest and the day is the shortest.
Di la du kharchi la na ani chen di ringsho che ani di thungsho chagyo res.
And we count it as the beginning of the winter.
Di kharchi la na ani gunga gochu wa chigyo res di thuju dine.
Then you have summer solstice around June 22nd, when the noon shadow is shorter than any other day. It marks the beginning of the summer. The night is the shortest, and we have the longest day of the year.
Thana shi erge ni to lan yan chigyo res digap su khar thuju khadu khigo launa chinde tube che ni sangil khigyo res ra digap su khari lana thanda ningungi thina phoya jwa di thungsho chagyo res andila du thanda gonda di 통쇼 체 아니 님의 공디링아 요레스 링쇼 차기 요레스 디 아니 간조 탄다 야가 고수고 님모디 지기 요레스.
Now you can define another thing, namely year. What is the year then?
당고라 남두시 칸데질 라기메 된다 디시기야라 다 탄다 간조 카리 디시기 라오나 로라나 칸데질 라기메.
That's the between from one vernal equinox to the next.
단다 디 오니 셰바 진염 툴라디 디네니 아니 고수네 당보 고수네 지니 니버지리라 딜레레 버드 투주라 딜 카르리요레 logic lagi yores.
And in that way you get your first calendars.
Di gyune ani ngara sugi khari ra yorlana lotho tangbo di ra yorwas.
The problem from the beginning was that this number of days is not the same in solar year. So we had problems with calendars.
The lotho digos kangi khari yorla oina nime kung tuju jura dita duga loga chagi yorwas. Di ani kangi thi yores lotho di suye kapso.
So throughout the history we also change how many days in a calendar year.
Tila du ani thanda loto nala logic nala nima khajo lu gu yor lai jora khajo chi gu gur lai di ani mangbush kyo the res til kangi the res.
So how many days in a calendar year?
Tanga jo loto nala mik nima khajo res 365 days.
Always?
Khadu in rel sunja thukjiranga. No, not always. Lo shijela ani khajo yor nima. Lo shijela yo dure lara an khanima khajo. So after 4 years we have 366 days.
What do you think why?
Kharchini relasti. Because February has 29 days.
Why does February 20 have 29 days? We made up 29 days, not February. We made up this 29th day. Why did we put another day there?
Then nima ni sagulan chinda nyol nima ni saguladi ngarasu su sha ju rolas nima ni sagulan thewa khajin lu resdi khajin su res nima ni sagulan. Because when the moon moves around the earth, sometimes it takes 29 days, sometimes it takes 30 days. Nisargu dalai nishu sakil dagar laimba dagagi zamni lokore gedu kabre nisab ke kabre sumju. Yeah, when the moon moves around the earth, sometimes it takes 28 days, sometimes 30 days.
But do we measure a year by the movement of the moon? What did I say? How are we going to define the year?
Daga kore gyadang jura dilata ninganzu lo chigi yorwelas. Ngwe ninganzu lo lana khande chilchi isa. So when we include all the 4 seasons, we consider that as a year.
We said that the year is the period from one vernal equinox to the next.
Tanda chige thunyam la jua nyamtu la di dine chik kochuk ni chini niwal lele bodu thuju jora dil khar la re ngazugi logic line bas.
So this is a time, you're right, how long it takes the sun to go all around the earth, right, till we come again at the time when the shadow, right, the tip of the shadow draws exactly the straight line. So from one of that event to another, that's what we call the year, and it's defined by, the sun going all around the earth.
Tanda di khari korshir la oina thuju tanda di thuju di khadu khigure ni ni timna podu gala timna pogyo di da ni phai tanda ye cho da yuen cho juya shar da nublo pogyo di thik thak da khigyo na di thuju gochu ni chini ya jungma di thuju shli ra di podu logic la yorwas tilo di nima di ende kora gani khagas ligyo me di thuju di chigi yorwas.
It actually takes 365.25 day approximately from one event to another.
Ta thanda dine thik khaptu le ash do thuju nima jora dine ni nima koraji gyani thengmaji hengi niwas li ra di thuju dila logic lagi yorwas di thanga chi oina nima sumja thuju renga tha ani nima thanda nima chi gi shija chi le oina dine logic kur ku yores.
And in order that we don't have slippage of the season, that we don't call, spring when it's not spring yet, we add it every 4th year 1 day more to account for this quarter day.
Ta thanda di shija chi hag do di chue che do ani nganju gi thanda chinda nyola nima nisagula nima chik thewa shaida lo shila logic nal khajo re shija chik la dugal lo shina la nima chik thewa chasa dinde chini chi yores.
And that's the reason you have the leap year.
Cheza ani nganju thanda lo shina la ani nima ni sagule ashdo jinda niwa la dila leap year la yorwa ti chi yores.
But if you want to know something else which is very interesting, actually that's not also accurate. We have a problem like with 11 minutes. And over the years, it actually takes 365 days in 1/4 day minus 11 minutes. So we have to adjust our calendar still.
Ta thande tuju nganju lodo khandi ji chi yore logic la nima sumje thugju renga che lo shi jela sumje thugju re nima chik thewa chi yoras ine thanda nganju nima thanda logic nal sumje thugju renga da shija chik lan chi so shija chik takta yore la no yo mares kama chukji nyunga yores thande dila dugala thanda nganju lodo di takta di yo mares subju tang gu yores.
And it's going to happen. It actually is supposed to happen in 2000, but they didn't do it. They will do it eventually, exactly at a day again.
Ta thanda nidons la chegwa res shimba di jwa ta di tang thuyo mara hine ta jela thama ni jwa du res di lotu dila.
Oh, what's going to happen, for example, February 2nd, it's going to be February 3rd.
Ta jwa ta oina chinda niwe che ni di chinda niwe che sum chasi ruas.
So that's a solar year. What else do we see in the sky? We see the stars. How do stars move?
Ngazo mi ge thongdu chi khari thonggu yor lawa na kama denju thonggu yor ras kama denju khand yogu khande chiwe me di thonggu yor ras.
So one point of view is how the star moves with respect to the earth.
Chik di thanda se khola la to ne ani kama denju yogu khande chiwe me di ta yor ras.
But you also observe the path of the sun through the stars.
Kheran zu chi khari thonggu yor lawa na nima di thanda thanda kame gyabjol ta wana dine ni kujo tangi yo chi thonggu ras nima di.
What do you notice? There is a one star in the sky, which you actually saw, right? When Vivian was here.
Vivian yo kap su kheran zu gyang shin ta du kama chik ran chi yo thong so.
She pointed to you, right? It's actually like right there here. And
Vivian gitte so sa kama chik ran chi to asti.
that star is always fixed during every night.
Thanda kheran zul tun jo kama sto di kon chimo khande sta wa nei thagaran de di res kama di.
Then you notice another thing about the stars. They all move in a circle. We think, right? Could be possible explanation. They're all in the same distance with respect to each other all the time, and they move in that unison way.
Dilo du kama chama yang Quran sul chik chil to na ro kujo tang du kal chik ba tang gi ros.
And they all move center around Polaris at the rate of 15 degrees per hour.
Ta
So it's
kujo
not
tang
very
ji ro
fast.
kujo tang di thanda kama changar lan kama chik ran chiya di ki ba sha di thal ko re gi res. An chuzu chik la degree chonga surgu chonga kujo tang gi res dilo du jobu shu chagi yo maros.
Some stars you always see in the sky. There is Polaris, and those stars, right, which are on your horizon, you can always see. But the stars which are below, which are these stars which go below your horizon, you cannot see them all the time.
Thanda suso thong thoe tha dila khali re ni dila horizon le ra digas padu ngara so thong thu ras ki di khari cha de la na changar thanda Polaris la dires an thala kama shimba du res ine thanda horizon tha ni jua di gewa na thong maras kama du.
So now you see how the stars, those stars which we always see, there is a Polaris, and there are these circumpolar stars always present, how they circulate.
Di kama de jo khorgyo khandi chigyo me kora khandi jigyo me di tungyo ras ki di khandir lana chigram gujo madan dingi di changar jua di cha de res.
There is Polaris, right?
Di ki di changar ras tha
And
de
then
jo
you
kama
see how
shimba
the
de.
stars rotate in the sky. So the idea is that what you observe, as I said, that the stars are always at the same distance with respect to each other. So the assumption is then they must be fixed on some kind of globe. We don't have any bulb. They must be fixed. They must be fixed on some kind of globe, and that's the reason they are moving all together. So imagine there is a globe, and you stick the stars, and they are moving. What?
The globe is over there.
Oh, I mean, this is Earth. You mean?
Yeah. You can just see like.
Yeah, the sphere. Yeah. We don't have any sphere. But imagine, this is not an Earth. We stuck the stars here. In the middle of this, inside is the Earth. Okay, we stuck the stars, and the stars are just moving around us, fixed on this sphere. So they thought that because when they look at in the sky, they observe that the stars are always with respect to each other at the same distance. And they call them because of that fixed stars. Okay, good. I have a nice sphere here. You see, this is sphere on which the stars are attached, and that sphere just moves around the Earth, and the center of rotation, right, it goes through Polaris. It takes 1 day, right, for stars to go around the Earth. Apart from the stars, how we look at from the Earth, I said you can also look at how the sun travels through this globe to this sphere of stars. You have this, what we call ecliptic. This is the path of the sun through the sphere of fixed stars. So, you see this path here, which we call ecliptic, this one here. This is really where sun moves through the sphere of fixed stars, in this path. And sun moves really slowly through this sphere. It takes it whole year to go around. The sun and this whole celestial sphere are rotating from east to the west, complete the whole revolution every day around the Earth. And apart from that, about the stars that are fixed with respect to each other, some group of stars we call constellations. So what are constellations really?
So a group of stars is called constellation.
Yeah, but Which groups of stars we call constellations?
The karma chon de jo da mangbu yorolas. Ri khandila ani karsum lagi yores. The ones which shows zodiac signs.
But how do we choose which of those?
In that denjo ta dende re lagora zodiac dinga zo khande dam relas. Kharil tani kharil shishan. The shape or the pattern.
It's not that write anything is in the sky. You just drew lines between different stars and reminded you of something.
Di thanda ib de kheran su gi thanda kama du chi chi chegera denzo thuni thik doji su ani chi dende doji su ana dende jiyor la ni kheran su samlo na sha la dende le lo su dende gi daji su sharwas.
And then you said this group of stars is now called Big Dipper.
Thana shi kheran su ming ta jora Big Dipper la ni thanda karsum dende la ni dende doji yo ai na an ngonzo Big Dipper la ni lagi indas la ming dende ta sha yujros.
So in the ancient time they named 12 of these groups of stars, so that we have these 12 signs of zodiac.
Ta Quran su numcho imbana loda do yo di ta du gala Quran su gi ta karsum la tagi tagi ani loda chungi dende su ros.
Over time, they named more and more. So at the beginning of the last century, they named 88 constellations.
Tak ma thurab ma dura kabre khazu chayla na karsum geju gege dinde ya chayres.
So we are now at 88. Nobody's making up new ones.
Tak mangbu shu chada dinde sugi ladu karsum khazu chayla na geju gebge chayres. Ta mangbu shu chadu ta diganne be gege yo mares.
So there are the constellations now.
Ta thanda yo karsum denjo dige chadures.
The first original constellation, original 12 constellations are here around ecliptic, and they divide ecliptic with 12 equal sections.
Thanda nime khurgyo dosa del ecliptic leirla ra nime dolam di dela ani kharicha dur launa thanda karsum thangbo go chu du karsum chungi yor la jora del khigures.
So apart from, as we said, the sun and the stars, we also see the motions of the moon. What do we see?
Nima da kama thong ros thana shen nganju chi khari thong yor launa taga yang thong yor ros.
How does the moon move?
Taga yogu khande chigures kujo dang di todang khodo chidang jura rangor chikor. So it spins anti-clockwise, counterclockwise.
How long does it take moon to go around the earth?
Daga di say khulal kora jegir la ra di kora gel during the gurgu res na during the kora nima say khula kilshan kora ger la gora khazu gurgu res tachi a month nima shi oina
Yeah, about 29 days, right? What you notice with the moon, it rises in the east, moves around on the arc around in the sky, then it sets in the west, and it every night rises about an hour later than the previous night.
Daga shay di chibu chikin shar la shar an nube di nubla nubgu ras an tharing chuzu thubas do sha na sangi delani chudu dumbas shay jura chudu chik chilu do dindi chagi ras.
And interesting thing about the moon that we see moon's phases, right? Moon goes during these 29 days through these different phases.
Thada nima nisagu gugu la ra kora gela diga so an ngazu dawe pheltrip di thongu ras.
And there is the really, depending how the sun shines on the moon.
Nime yo
you
khande
see
phogu me
the-
dil pa be di pargya sha ju ras.
And the other thing what we observe is the planets.
Maranzo chi khari thongu yor la oina thongu yor la oina sa din jo thongu yor ras.
Planets are funny objects in the sky because they don't move in this kind of nice motion as the rest of the things that are in the sky.
Tadanda panang la kora gyang mangbush do dizu na takta roj geg do stende mai ba ya sa denzo im ba na dende da mandawe kora geg yor ras yogu chidang di loga cha de res.
So they move from east to the west, just together with the stars. And then they also sometimes move from the west to the east from the background of the star, as does the sun. What does that mean? As I said, sun has its path through the sphere of fixed stars.
Yening issues kama thanda nima di korad jasa jora dolam di kho cha de launa gyabjong kama gujoma tangi thanda langa jora dil khig dos.
And both the sphere of fixed stars and the sun go around the earth every day.
Di korad ya jora di nima takwa dugu ras to dandi.
But the sun is not as fast as the sphere of fixed stars. It falls a little bit behind.
Ine niga korad ya ra korad ya du nima da thanda gyabjong kama jora di korgyo dodandi ta oina nima di tis the res kama dil dur oina.
So with respect to the fixed stars, sun is moving a little bit in the other direction, right, from the west to the east.
Dilo du gyabjong kama din jul ta oina nganjo thongdu khande thongure kama din ju dijo dugu na ani nima di docho dugu ya rosh thongur was.
Because it's a little bit slower.
Khai khajin thongur la ona tis the du gala cho dijo dugu ya rosh thongur was nganjo ta du.
The same happens with the planets.
Thana shi chibujigyang kharida dugu la ona nganjo sa ta du din de chagi res.
This is like, if you can imagine that these walls are rotating, right? This is like sphere of fixed stars, they are rotating. And there is an end that is rotating together with these walls, but just slower than the walls. So it's falling behind. But it's still moving right in the same direction with respect to the middle. But if you look at with respect to the stars, it's moving a little bit in the other direction.
The peshana la standa kama da nima itta da nganjo ta du khare thonggu mi di kawash do di entanda kama chasa dimba chasha nasra dumsu dimba chashna kawa di kora yegi yo nasra di kama digal di kyang digal khari do de lana buthoma sto de nasra buthoma de cho khwa du re chipoji kya anda di jo du res kyang da nyam du res ine jose ta ena buthoma di the res chipa di jo khur gu res din de hindu gala nganjo ta du khari thongu re di jo di cho thanda di kawa di yon chol du na ani buthoma di the du yon chol du ya rosh thong ras dini phata waina ine kama chon ta waina chiboji kyan do de ras cho.
What happens with the planets, even though their translation of the word, I heard that Vivian said that, is a planet is a wanderer, like wanders around the sky.
Ta ge Vivian gi kharishes la ona sa din ju khar lana khyam dinge yo yama gujyo tang dinge dinde jimba shesons.
But even though they wander, they always stay around here, around the zodiac constellations. Sometimes they are north, sometimes they are south of it, but they almost never leave this part of the sky.
Hine sa din ju gujyo tang yo thanda khyam digyo la oina gi thana ju karsum thala chungni jo di yungni du yo maras ne thagaran digyo res.
By the 4th century, these were the planets and how they thought they are in order from the earth. So first was the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And you can notice that both the moon and the sun, they put it into planets.
Ta di thurab shive ka su chi su chidan cha de ras di khar chagur launa sa khaju du dün do sa dün thanda se kholani kyang tha pa be dik res di nyesho di che phai di tharing shu di chagi res ta dün na ta waina khari khig do daga da nima jora dini yani sana chu res.
One thing what you can notice when you're looking at the sky, that Venus and Mercury never go far away from the sun. They're always close to the sun.
Chi khari thungur la na tanda sapasan da salhakpa juya dini khadu na nima da nyu yo de dish thungu ros.
With it follows then you can see Mercury and Venus only in the morning, early morning, or just after the sunset.
Ta tanda sapasan da salhakpa shdo di shuge ngao thorenga su thungure yana sa tanda nima nobe kap tuju jura dile thungu res.
The interesting thing about these planets, they first going in the shuttle back and forth across the moving sun, then they move from east towards the west, and then the retrograde. Let me just explain carefully. So what you notice about these planets, they have a very strange motion. They move across the moving sun sometimes. But why don't we translate that?
Tanda di sanyi jidwa yogu chidan di kenso jures. Di dwe di tanda cho ho dugo lao na nima ho dugo na cho jura di chikpa dugo res.
And sometimes they're moving together with the sun, and then it suddenly turned in the other direction.
Kabre jodang handi dur lao na di niga nyamdo nime cho ho dugo na di cho dugo res. Kabre khari la na di la do be cho jura do cho de dugo res.
And then they move forward.
Ya rangja yang ya dun chol dugo res.
So they do this funny movement like going forward, back, and forward again.
Chezang jodang hare thangbo nima da nyam do ya do cho dur la sa ya rangja nima da nyam do jodang de do dugo res.
This is what we call retrograde motion. You heard that already in astronomy, right?
Kena zo karje rikpa na di kor kho swas la yogu chidang di dun chol ge ya rangja lo le ya dun chol do che yogu chidang dil la ge ras.
So this retrograde motion is this backwards, going back and then going forward again.
Thanda retrograde thanda yogu chidang sta di khandi chil la ge na la ge la wa na dun la kyo che ya rangja chilo chi do ya dun la kyo chilo chi di jodang dil la ge res.
And all the planets show the retrograde motion, just different time.
That ngoi la pe kharil share sa pasanda salhawal shaswa yo thanda yogu chidang di sanye chibu ma ba sa shimba sangma ko jo yogu chidang tharang du res tuzo logo cha de res.
Different intervals. So for Venus it's a year and a half. Every year and a half it shows retrograde motion. For Mars is every 2 years. For Jupiter and Saturn every year, and so on.
Thanda tuzo loga chagir laora thanda yogu chidang dinde tuendi thanda sa di ro cha shawena sa pasan ro cha shawena logic da chaga na tungu res yogu chidang di ani sa lakwa ro cha shawena lonis na tu dinde chine ani sa phubu da pas pemba yo dinde ina logic na tungu res yogu chidang di.
Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, on the other hand, they are never as close to all the time attached their path to the sun as Venus and Mercury. Sometimes they're close to the sun, sometimes they're on the other side, far away.
Tangwel tadu sapasang da salhapadi khadu ne nima de nye thongyor la ra an thanda sap mingma che sapubu che sapasang di khadu re nima ni tharinga che kabre ya tis nye yo de chegyor res.
Their behavior also still depends on the sun. So they retrograde only when they are opposition from the sun.
Dila dud Quran sugi thanda shijo tuen yama yogu chidang jora di nima la tuen ni chigyo res. An thanda nime ni dobo edu gala an thanda yogu chidang ma dun la kyo ya chila lo cheshda di chigyo res.
And when they are in opposition, they are much brighter.
An thanda dobo yoe tujo jora di gapsu imba indu sa dinzo ni yodang che yo res.
So all these are going to be data you have to incorporate into your theory to get a theory of our universe.
Da di changma nechu changma khare thangdo ro chagyo ro susugi di changma tho changma khar chigu re susugi thanda namsha ji su ro astina la chugu res.
So this is what the ancient astronomers did. They put the sphere of the fixed stars, and within the sphere, right, in this space between Earth and the sphere of fixed stars, they put all the planets.
Ta nanga mo tujugi dosu di chade ra karje rikbana di khari law na ngol tumsu ji gala kama rik shaswa di ani tha di chagyo res thalo kholish to di an kama di che di da thanda se khola kima la khari shayr law na sashba dun sama lu shay res.
And one thing you can notice, it's a very cozy universe.
Thanda di khar tung la ni jigdi kham sama tum shay ro tung dos.
Why is it cozy? Because the sphere of fixed stars, right, between the sphere of fixed stars and Earth, there are no empty space. Always is filled with something.
Tatum shajulan khajin lagur lawana thanda di se khola da kamash do dumsu tini paral khardu sadin zo dos khadin tongba meju she khang de yo rosh dos tini paral.
They didn't think there could be vast spaces here, between us and the faraway stars.
And Quran sugi thanda di peri suera di suedu gala se khola da kama paral pharnang tongcha chimbu yote min dos.
And the reason for that is also certain conceptual philosophical view about the world.
Tadi masha di junse chi khari lao na thanda tarup da dil pabe susul dil pabe ani Quran chugi samchu jura di shishane ani peri dinde jo sures Quran chugi.
They thought God created the earth and the world for a man.
The Quran chugi samchu khari lao na thanda konjo gi dup sha ju jira jura mi chedu ani thanda khari yo di changma konjo gi dup res mi chedu res lan dis samchu di res.
But if the God created the earth and everything for a man, why would he create empty space? What would be the purpose of it?
The mi chedu se kola da sashimba changma mi chedu tu thanda konjo gi sujo reslan shedu gala dinde himba na dipara tongsha shu gu maras khajini shagreslan di samchu di ki res Quran zui.
So immediately with the first picture of the universe, just from everything what they saw, they also incorporated certain conceptual view about the world in it.
Chezanta di pari suye gapso Quran sugi da khodol khariyo da samju khariyo meta rup da di dewe samju di changmanyam do duni ani rimu dende ji Quran sugi ko res.
Yeah. Lunch.